very good evening to everyone. I think I would echo what Dr. Subramaniam Swamy said in his short video, that until you came here, you didn't realize that there was a university, an oasis, a temple of knowledge, as wonderful and as beautiful as REVA. And being in Bangalore, it was such a shame that it took me so long to come and discover this magical world here. But today we are here to celebrate a very, very momentous occasion, a Founders' Day, of which, of course, Dr. Shamaraju, being the visionary that he is, he's already given you all a task for the next 23, 24 years. But the 77 or 78 years already is itself a great milestone, and my heartiest wishes to you, sir, on this milestone achievement in your life. As the Vedic blessings go, Jeevema Sharadashatam, and people like you are what this country needs. I think Vidya Dana is the biggest contribution anyone can do to a country. If India has to become a Vishwaguru, a leader in its own right in various fields, of course you can have a strong military, you can have a great economy, but even to fuel that you need next generation leaders. And where do these leaders come from? They come from places like this. And those of you here, I don't think you needed people like us to come here from outside to give you any kind of inspiration. You have someone in-house. What one man's vision, or rather should I say one woman's desire and vision, led by a very, very obedient and loving, devoted husband, actually ensured that the dream of the wife fructifies into such a beautiful reality. That in itself is so inspiring. And today, while I was sitting there, and in the few minutes that we also conversed, it was hugely inspirational to see the kind of excitement and the vision that Dr. Shamaraju exudes. And I felt somewhere that he's like this gardener. A gardener always loves to sow his seeds, and his biggest joy is to see how that germinates into this massive tree with so many wonderful fruits, tasty fruits, and he's there to see all of this and also plant some more seeds in all of us. And I think education sadly has not been something that is holistic in this country. The old principle goes that education needs to be three-dimensional, where there is IQ, of course, intellectual quotient. There should also be two other Qs which we normally forget. One is EQ, which is emotional quotient, and another is SQ, which is spiritual quotient. What I saw here, or what I understood from the little interactions that I had and the video that I saw, is that at REVA, all these three, it's not just IQ for people, but also an EQ, sensitivity for society, a sensitivity for environment, a sensitivity about the country. That emotional quotient is also nurtured. And through the introduction of various fields like the performing arts and so on, it also feeds the spirit, the soul. So IQ, EQ and SQ, all of this coming together in a seamless fashion at REVA. I think it is truly, and I hope and wish, sir, that your vision, that it becomes a global university of the future. India needs to stamp her legacy in the educational field. As a historian, in the centuries that have gone by, we were the world leaders when it came to education, whether it was Nalanda, Takshashila, Vikramashila, Odantapuri. These were the places where everyone from the world came seeking education, whether it was Fahian or Huansang, who came to Nalanda seeking knowledge. I think today when we talk of reclaiming that space for India, when we talk about decolonizing India, decolonization, one of course means that we stop using this language that I'm speaking to you all in. That's the irony of it. But along with that, reclaiming that past glory of India in various fields. And India's greatness has never been limited only to military might. We have never attacked anybody. We have not colonized any country. Our greatness has been in the production of knowledge. Today, even Western historians are acknowledging the fact that India held the lamp of knowledge to the rest of the world. It is our ideas that traveled, whether it was in the fields of mathematics, whether astronomy, medicine, the mind-body connection. All of this was something that originated here. Alchemy, chemistry, the sciences, we developed so much of that. But I think over centuries of invasion, of slavery, of deprivation, we somewhere lost that advantage. So in that context, I think universities like REVA, which contribute so much to the making of or the remaking of the ancient glory of India, it becomes so important. And in this particular direction, the kind of efforts, the pioneering efforts that people like Dr. Shamaraju are taking are indeed creditworthy. Now, he also told me that we need to speak a very little about our journey. I will not bore you too much about my journey. A lot of it is there in so many video podcasts and so on. I feel a little bashful when I accept an award anywhere as a historian. I must confess here that while I was growing up in school, the subject that I hated the most was history. And most often, the maximum punishments that I've ever received in any subject was history. I would always be found very dutifully kneeling down outside class because I just could not memorize who succeeded whom, which year, which battle was fought, who was whose husband or wife. I thought these were useless details which made no sense to us, while growing up. Of course, destiny has other plans. Just like I think destiny had such wonderful plans for Dr. Shamaraju, it had other plans for me. And serendipity, that beautiful English word which means happy accidents, that is what defined my whole foray, very, very accidentally, happy accident, into the world of history and research. I was perhaps a boy of 12 or 13 years of age when there was that very popular serial those days in Doordarshan called The Sword of Tipu Sultan, which was produced by Sanjay Khan. Those of you who'd remember that to show Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan in a very nice light, the Mysore royal family, of which we are part of the erstwhile Mysore Samsthana, of which we are so proud of, all the modern achievements of Karnataka today, the foundations of that were laid by the Mysore Maharajas, Namma Maharajaru, as proudly people in old Mysore still call them, and the Diwans of Mysore. And to show that dynasty, the Maharaja was shown like this, obese retard who was dancing with the court dancer. And the Maharani was one of those typical vamps from an Ekta Kapoor serial, constantly, conspiring and conniving against Tipu. And if you remember, even the studio had caught fire in the premier studio in Mysore, and Sanjay Khan's face had got burnt. And at that time, a lot of, Kannada media was commenting that this is the curse of the Vodiyar. This is because you showed him in such a light. Now, as that young boy who was kneeling down outside class and hating history, I don't know what this did to me. That is what we say is destiny. Something is, I think, Purva Janma, Sukritas, which come to you as samskaras. My family had nothing to do with Mysore. I'm half Maharashtrian, half Tamilian. But something in that stirred me, and I decided to set off on a voyage of self-discovery at the age of 12 or 13 to find out the truth about just that one king and queen who were misrepresented in the serial. And this madness lasted for about 10 years, where every vacation meant going to Mysore, meeting members of the royal family, some old timers, historians, archivists, all never with the idea that this is going to become a book someday or I'm going to become a historian. That was my worst dream ever, or nightmare, I must say, to become one. But it was with the idea of Swanta Sukhaya, for the joy of discovery, for the joy of knowledge. I think something that this university embodies in such a wonderful manner. And after those 10 years, I realized that there's not a single book that is written on the entire journey of or the history of the Vodiyars. They were one of the longest reigning royal houses of India, reigning for 600 years, and not a single book. Our history is so Delhi-centric. We read about every little dynasty that ruled Delhi, but our part of the country, South India or northeast of India, the Ahoms who ruled there for 600 years, again, we wouldn't even know. We can't even name maybe 2 or 3 Ahom Rajas who ruled. And that is the sad part. So Toni Morrison had said, if there is a book that you want to read and it hasn't been written yet, you must be the first one to write it. And so that is how, quite by accident, my first book came out about 17, 18 years ago. And then there was no looking back. I was in a very boring corporate job, literally, crying every day that am I going to die one day, calculating the profit and loss of some American company with leaving no legacy behind. But thankfully, sometimes I think you should just surrender to the larger designs of the universe, something which Dr. Shyam Raju also ascribed to. The power of surrender, the power of just being an instrument, an available instrument to the larger designs that a higher power, you can call it God, you can call it something else, something which, for the reason for which you have come into this world. So that is how my accidental foray brought me here. Every award is very important. Our scriptures say karmanyev adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Don't think about the outcome, just do your hard work. But sometimes, appreciation from society, from your near and dear ones, that also gives you an encouragement, it gives you support, it gives you reassurance that what you're doing, you're on the right track. And more importantly, it bestows a lot of responsibility on you that you need to continue this hard work going forward. So on such a momentous occasion of the birthday, the Founders' Day, that REVA University chose me for this rare honor, I'm indeed extremely, extremely grateful to you. And I promise to ensure that this journey that I embarked on quite accidentally, I'll ensure that this legacy is left behind, just as Dr. Shyam Raju has left behind, is creating and is going to have such a legacy, that far outlives him. In a small way, I would also assure everyone that I'll work on this relentlessly now. My heartfelt greetings also to Dr. Malti Holla, a great inspiration who's here. And it's an honor to be sharing stage with her and with all of you here. So once again, thank you so much for this warm invitation for this award, and many, many, many more happy returns of the day, sir. I hope to come for your 100th birthday also very soon in a larger auditorium.
May I now request the dignitaries to felicitate Dr. Vikram Sampath, REVA Excellence Award 2025.